So why are we doing this again?
For content. Because what we're doing is not a podcast, right? It's not a podcast. It's a vlog kind of cast thing. Right. Vlog podcast. But yeah, basically no one else is asking us for interviews, so we thought we would make the content ourselves.
Right.
That's about it, really.
He's always forcing me to do things I don't want to do. I know this story.
Yeah. Patreon is basically like OnlyFans for bands. Unfortunately, no, we're not naked or selling feet pics. But for only $2 a month, you can get exclusive content and early access to new songs. That's early access, not easy access. Our Patreon is linked below, and there's also a 50% off discount code down there as well, so you only have to pay $1 for the first month to support us. Alternatively, a free way to support us would be to save our songs on Spotify and add them to your playlists. Now, let's get back to the video.
So I remember when I first met you, we live in like an area in Gig, and there was a local bar. Mm-hmm. And I had some friends visiting from back home in Scotland, and we went into this local bar, and I was wearing like a Scotland football shirt, and you said to me, "Why are you wearing a Scotland shirt? You're Swedish." And you don't remember this, but I remember this so clearly. And then you were like, "Do you want to drink with us after that?" And me and my friends were just like, "No." And we left on my own.
I must have mistaken you for someone else that was frequenting the local public house.
The local establishment.
The local establishment, yeah. I don't remember that. But I remember, like, that
was the first time I met you, for sure.
That was how we met.
And then after that, it was kind of through football, I guess, playing football.
Yeah, played 5-a-side or 4-a-side or 3-a-side or whatever we played together.
Yeah.
And then we became friends, and then we spoke about music, and we had a really short band practice where we thought, oh, we could maybe write some songs together and see how that goes, and I don't think it went very well.
Yeah, the first time we did this, it was terrible. Like, we ended up giving up after like an hour, I think.
I remember because I had lyrics and I had like ideas for songs, and I showed you, and you played it, and you played it better than I could probably ever play it. But it just didn't work. That the way that we were going about it was like, oh, can you play my stuff? I think that's how it went, and it didn't go great. And then the pandemic hit. You left the country.
Yeah.
I was still here. I was stuck here during the pandemic. And that's when you came back to Manila, is when we tried to actually really give it a go with the band and try again.
And that was the point where I felt like I really missed music, and I missed writing music, and I wanted to get back into it again.
Yeah, and I hadn't been writing for 2 years.
So I guess the best way to do that is to try and work together. And then when we did practice again, it worked this time. Like, it was really easy. You'd have an idea, or I'd have an idea, and it would just gel like really quickly, I think.
Yeah, it was more fluid. It wasn't me going, "Can you play this song I wrote?" or "Can you write something over these lyrics?" It was more collaborative, way more collaborative.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's kind of how the band started. And now it's been
almost
2 years.
Almost 2 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took a very long time to write all the songs to begin with. I guess because it started off as more of a hobby. It was just, we meet up, jam a few songs out, see how it goes, and we did that, like, let's say once a month. Mm-hmm. And then it was maybe after a few months we decided to push that further.
Yeah, and then I honestly think it's because the songs and the music was starting to get to a certain point, to a certain level where we thought this is too good to not take seriously.
You just have to do something with it.
Yeah, and we actually had something there that we thought people would like, and that's what took us to the next step, really. What did you do before with music?
You're asking me a question. Okay.
I'll ask again.
For like in my 20s, I was in a metal band back in Scotland. I toured all over the UK. I did sign a record deal at some point, and then the band ended up like breaking up. And because of that, I took maybe like a 6-year break, I think it was, from music. And when you're really creative, spending 6 years out of music is really difficult. And then I kind of felt that need to get back into it again. But I wanted to grow as a musician, and get into like different styles of music, and also kind of like harness all of the music that I listen to, because I listen to everything, like whether it's jazz, pop, rock, metal,
Korean,
K-pop, K-pop, J-rock as well.
J-rock, yeah.
So I want to take all of those influences and kind of like mash them all together to create something new that hasn't really been heard before, I guess.
Yeah.
But doing that is like, it's easier said than done, because it's really easy to make a song sound all over the place when you're taking in so many different influences. And as we found out, like, it's really difficult to like pigeonhole what we're writing, because like parts appeal to one audience and other parts appeal to like another audience. So I don't know, it's difficult.
Well, then why did you come to Manila? How did you end up here?
Oh yeah, that was the question. I traveled a lot, and because of my traveling, like when I was taking a break from music, I went like all over Asia, I've been all over Europe, and I thought that the Philippines would be a really good base to be able to travel to different places. And then when I did come here, I decided to properly like travel around the Philippines and kind of see all the different islands, and I just decided to stay here.
Yeah.
For those reasons. What about you?
That's a really good reason though, like to have Manila as the base, and then you can go to Taiwan in 2 hours. Vietnam is 2 hours. Hong Kong is 2 hours. Singapore's 3 or 4 hours. Like, it's a super cheap way of living if you want to go that way. And if you hear cats in the video, it's because I have 3 cats, and they cry a lot.
They'll maybe be in the next album. I just enjoyed it. Like, people in the Philippines are really friendly.
Everybody's so nice. Like,
everybody's really, really nice, for sure.
I wrote a lyric. I can't remember when it was, but the lyric was, "She's got no teeth, but she's still smiling," which I thought was really funny. But it's true. Like, you'll go down the back streets or something, and everybody is, even if it's raining, people are playing out in the rain in the street with a bathtub or just a bucket, throwing water at each other. It's just, everybody's always smiling, and you know, it's the complete opposite of the UK, where everybody is complaining or upset about something every single day. It just doesn't come into. You never hear Filipino people complaining very much. Yeah,
just us.
Just us. Just the foreigners. That is totally true as well.
But it's just a happier place to live. People are friendly, like I said already. I think also having really good options within the Philippines to travel is great, because you can go for an hour flight and you end up on an island, right? It's only an hour or so to go to Boracay, or if you want to go Tablas, you can do. You can go to Siargao.
Every place that you want to go is an hour away from Manila, basically.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, I had a residency in Macau. I was living in China teaching English, and then I was living in China teaching English, and then I got a show in Macau at a bar, and I was there for 6 months, and I kind of thought I'm still like quite young, so I might as well try and make another go at music. And I came here for a short trip. I loved it, and every single bar that I went to had a live band, and the live band was, Filipino live bands, like cover bands. They were just amazing. Some of them, I think some Filipino cover bands sing and perform songs better than what you would hear it from the actual band
sometimes
themselves.
It's better than the original.
Better than the original. And some of the vocals were just incredible.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I'm ever going to give it a go, I might as well go to the Philippines and try there. And I did. I came with nothing. And then I managed to get a distribution deal with Warner Brothers. And it didn't work out, but I toured with, and I'm still friends with guys from Silent Sanctuary. I played shows with Hale and Mayonnaise. And
you played with Ben and Ben as well.
Ben and Ben opened one of my shows. I love those guys. They were so nice, and when they first opened the show, when I had my first single release, I think it was literally just Ben and Ben. There was no one else in the band, but they were still great. So I asked them to come and open the show for me. But yeah, I took a break as well. I took a 2 or 3 year break, but I felt like that revitalized me. You said 6 years.
Yeah.
I think that's probably too long,
Yeah.
for me. But mine was during the pandemic, and a lot of the things that I write are quite sad and not hopeful, and I didn't want to like project too much sadness out in the world when everything was so bad at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Why are we doing a vodcast?
Vodcast. Good word.
What even is a vodcast? Can't you see we're busy vodcasting?
Pretty good.
I guess that's fine. We are Holodek.